you talk about the history of Hollywood, and we're in our centennial year, and here we are at our board installation for the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, which is actually over 100 years old. It's so intricately intertwined with the beginning of Hollywood and our founder. Most people don't realize that the Chamber of Commerce is actually older than the city of Hollywood by 3 years, and that is a direct result of our founder, Joseph Young, who, when he came here to start the city, realized that in order to have a thriving community, a thriving business community, and a thriving city, you needed a good, solid chamber of commerce. So he starts a chamber in June of 1922, organizes it, they staff it, and he starts it and gets it all in place. And so what did they do in 1922? There wasn't a lot going on here. The chamber immediately sets to work to finding ways to attract people to this new land of Hollywood. Thought about the business in early Hollywood. One of the most important things they did in early Hollywood was they met the first train that ever stopped in Hollywood. The chamber had a welcome committee, which was a huge deal for Hollywood because to have a train station meant that we were open to the rest of the world. The history of the Hollywood Chamber, they got started off on the right foot, but then tragedy struck. It's the 1926 hurricane. Over half of the population leaves the city of Hollywood, and then the 1929 stock market crash. So now you've got a Chamber of Commerce that's really got a challenge ahead of it. How is it going to do its job when it's lost so much revenue? But they stepped up to the plate, and they organized and they made tourism one of their top concerns. How are we going to get people to visit Hollywood? And so they start this incredible advertising campaign. And also in the early days, they didn't even have a home. So where did the chamber meet when they first formed? There was all kinds of space on Hollywood Boulevard of the few buildings that Joseph Young had built, and they decided to meet in these buildings. But finally, they found an old building that was in the middle of the circle that was a putt-putt office where people were playing golf, and they decided that once that golf course closed, and that served the Chamber of Commerce up until the 40s, until things started to recover from the stock market and the Depression, and they stayed in that little shack until the 40s when they built their current home, the location that we're standing in right now, on Federal Highway just north of Polk Street. They also, in the 30s, this is very interesting what I found out, the chamber was really instrumental in attracting and almost securing a deal to have a 900-acre movie studio housed in Hollywood Hills near the old Hollywood Central Elementary School. The chamber took it upon itself and funded an election where I believe it was 99.9% of the voters in this city voted to have this deal go through. And we almost ended up being the real Hollywood of South Florida. And at the last minute, the head of Hollywood Inc. killed the deal. The bottom line is the chamber, throughout the history of the chamber from the 20s to today, it's not only the business community they thought about as I looked at their history, they thought about the quality of life and how can we make the city better to attract more people. So it is the business community. That was their main goal, and it's still the main goal. But there's so many other things that create the healthy, thriving business community. And if the city's not healthy and the city is lacking in some other ways, it's the responsibility of the chamber to campaign to make it better.
In the 70s, we came along with the concept of, hey, we've got one person that owns 25,000 lots in the city of Hollywood, one company. He said, we're having candidates run for city commission that don't even know how to balance their own checkbook. Bill Horbitz is the person who really deserves the credit for finding out how to put together a program that would enhance the abilities of those candidates that wanted to offer themselves up to run the city. He put up the first 1,000 to fund the program and come up with an outline that would be useful for all walks of life. Some of the things that we felt were important is to be able to attend budget committee meetings of the city, Port Everglades, the airport. Okay? In fact, the airport got named Hollywood, got the name of Hollywood in with the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, I think it's called. As a direct result of this Chamber of Commerce, Barry Epstein, who was the CEO at the time, said, we want our name in that airport. And that's how Hollywood got its name added. Back then in the 70s, I think, is when we started the Chamber Leadership Program. It was called something different back then, but We started off with having, 15 people, and that was it. But back in the days of, I'm talking about when the city, I think, had about a $30 million budget, it was very elementary and easy for a candidate to get up and say, I want to run for city commission. They had to have no qualifications at all. And we felt that was inappropriate. We felt that they needed to get the experience of understanding how does the city government work. Out of the need for making the city of Hollywood a better community, the Chamber of Commerce stepped forward and did its thing to do that.
In the 1980s and the 1990s, the Chamber continues to support the business community. The Chamber had moved its headquarters to Presidential Circle out west, but that was not a very popular move. So in the early 90s, the board of directors of the Chamber decided it was time to go back to downtown Hollywood at 330 North Federal Highway, where they rebuilt their new headquarters. Tourism at this time is booming. It's the number one economic engine. So the City of Hollywood partnered with the Chamber of Commerce to create the Hollywood Office of Tourism. This is to make sure that our tourism economy stays strong right here in Hollywood. And the City of Hollywood provided a grant to the Chamber to support these efforts. And we all know that early 2000, everything is happening, booming. But in 2007, we had the big real estate market crash. That really impacted the Chamber since many of its members were tied to the real estate industry. It also deepened its relationship with the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance and support important issues like the penny sales tax for transportation improvement and the interlocal agreement with the county to support affordable housing. And of course, the Hollywood Go bonds to support our local infrastructure project. Everything's going well. Again, 2020 happened and COVID posed another challenge, let's say, to the business community and to the Chamber. But the Chamber pivoted again. In 2022, the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce proudly celebrates its 100th birthday, a testament to the commitment of the Chamber to the business community. And the Chamber keeps people in the know with its events like the Hollywood Power Lunches, the Good Morning Hollywood Breakfast, the Golf Classic, Spark Hollywood to attract entrepreneur and innovator to Hollywood. And of course, to support education, the future workforce of Hollywood and our community with an event like Grapes for Grades. And to this day, the Chamber has funded over $500,000 in scholarship for Hollywood students. And of course, Leadership Hollywood program is thriving. Continue to cultivate a strong leader for our community. And in 2023, we established the Leadership Hollywood Foundation, a 501c3. Now, this Leadership Hollywood program has been going on for over 50 years. So each cohort provide a community service project to support local nonprofit and the city as a whole. So as the city celebrates its centennial, the Chamber is poised to embrace an exciting future with growth and opportunity for all. Together, we look forward to sharing the next chapter of our vibrant city. And now we'd like to share with you a short video of our Hollywood birthday party, which happened on June 24th, 2022, exactly 100 years from when Joseph Young founded the Chamber downtown Hollywood, June 24th, 1922. So cheers to next 100 years of service to the Hollywood business community.
you know, when the chamber was looking at their 100th year anniversary coming upon us, where are we going to have this celebration? Where would be the place that we could really, you know, celebrate the chamber's 100-year history? And the founder of the city, who was also the person that instigated the idea of a chamber in Hollywood. And it turns out having the party on a boat was absolutely the most perfect venue to have this, because Joseph Young, a lot of people don't know, as well as being a developer, not only in Hollywood, but other parts of the country, loved the sea and loved boats, and had a boat works on the Miami River called Hollywood Boat Works. And we are so excited to get ready for tonight's celebration, because we are doing it in the 20s style, Great Gatsby, because that is when the city of Hollywood was roaring just like the 20s.